Hey everyone, imagine this. You're the second driver for the best team in Formula One, but suddenly, everything starts falling apart. That's exactly what's happening to Sergio Perez at Red Bull. The Mexican driver is in such a streak of bad luck that even his spot on the team is at risk. Will he be able to save himself, or will Red Bull show him the door? In this video, we're going to dive deep into this whole mess. We'll see what's going on behind the scenes, who might replace Checo, and how this could turn the championship upside down. Stay tuned, things are getting intense, and if you like this type of video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any details of this unfolding story. Let's be real, Perez is in a slump that even he must be tired of. Just imagine, in the last races, he's been more like a cone on the track than a Red Bull driver. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen is flying, winning every race. Check out this stat to get an idea. Since the Miami GP, Perez hasn't even come close to the podium. His best result? A measly 7th place. Meanwhile, Verstappen is at the top, racking up victories like they're stickers in a collection. And it doesn't stop there. The British GP was the height of embarrassment. While Max was fighting for the win with the McLarens and Mercedes, where was Perez? Way back, 2 laps down. It looked like he was racing in a different category, folks. The worst part is you can't even blame the car. Red Bull is still the best on the grid. The problem is with the driver himself. So, will Checo be able to turn things around? Or is Red Bull already eyeing other drivers to replace him? But guys, do you think Red Bull is cool with this situation? Not at all. The team is more pissed off than Max Verstappen when someone blocks him on the track. And with good reason, right? They need both drivers up front, fighting for the top positions. Christian Horner, Red Bull's boss, has already spoken out. This points gap between Perez and Verstappen is unsustainable. They are desperate to get the Mexican back in the fight. Why? Simple. The competition is catching up. McLaren and Mercedes are coming in strong, and even Ferrari gives them scares from time to time. Verstappen is a beast, but he can't carry the load alone. Just imagine. In the last 6 races, Red Bull was outscored by McLaren and Mercedes, and that's with the best car on the grid. Red Bull needs both drivers up front, not only to secure the Constructors' title, but also to give Max a helping hand when things get tough. After all, F1 is a team sport, and Perez is letting the team down. So, will Checo be able to recover, or will Red Bull have to take drastic action? Things are tenser than the last lap in Monaco. Oh, and if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's quick and helps us bring more content to you. Now here's the part that's making everyone nervous. The infamous performance clauses in Perez's contract. Yep, that big contract until 2026 that seemed like a fortress? It's more like a sandcastle at high tide. There's been some buzz behind the scenes that Checo's contract has a hefty clause. If he's 100 points behind Verstappen by the summer break, Red Bull can say goodbye to him. And guess what? Right now, the gap is 137 points. The Mexican is more tangled up than spaghetti on a fork. But it doesn't stop there. Red Bull is seriously considering triggering these clauses. They're not messing around. Helmut Marko, that Red Bull advisor who always drops bombs, has said that the B team needs to go back to being a training ground for the main team. Translation, they're looking for fresh blood. And the worst part is that this could happen sooner than we think. Some people are betting that Perez could be out by the summer break. Just imagine the drama. The guy goes on vacation thinking he'll come back to work and, surprise! The spot is already taken. Red Bull is playing 4D chess here, folks. They have to decide, keep Perez and hope for a miraculous turnaround or take a risk with a new driver? And guess who's in line to take Perez's spot if he slips up? Daniel Ricciardo and Liam Lawson. Ricciardo, that smiling Australian everyone loves, is doing everything he can to prove he still has gas in the tank. He's already won 3 races against Tsunoda at AlphaTauri. Is that enough to convince Red Bull? But the dark horse in this story is Liam Lawson. This guy is hungry for F1, folks. And guess what? Red Bull decided to give the kid a chance. This week, at Silverstone, Lawson got the opportunity to drive the RB20. That's right, the current Red Bull car. They're saying it's just a promotional event, but we know better, right? This is a test with a capital T. Red Bull wants to see if Lawson has what it takes to run with the big dogs. And the worst part, Lawson has until September to secure a spot in F1 for 2025, or he becomes a free agent. Meanwhile, Perez is sweating bullets. He knows that the next few races before the summer break are crucial. It's now or never for the Mexican to show he still deserves to be in the best car on the grid. The tension is higher than the RPM limit of these engines. Who do you think will come out on top in this battle? The experienced Perez, the charismatic Ricciardo, or the rookie Lawson? Guys, this whole Perez mess isn't just affecting him. The entire Red Bull team is feeling the impact. Imagine this. In the last 6 races, the Flying Bulls have been outscored by McLaren and Mercedes. That's right, the unbeatable team is taking a beating. And why is this happening? Simple. Verstappen is practically fighting the war alone. While he's up front sweating bullets to hold off the McLarens and Mercedes, Perez is lagging behind. Check out this stat. Perez is scoring the same amount of points as Nico Hülkenberg from Haas and Lance Stroll from Aston Martin. That's right. The guy with the best car on the grid is tied with drivers from midfield teams. And this is starting to seriously worry Red Bull. The Constructors' Championship, which seemed guaranteed, is now getting tense. McLaren and Mercedes are coming in strong, and Ferrari, despite being inconsistent, still poses a threat. Christian Horner has already said that this situation is unsustainable. They desperately need both cars up front. Because let's face it, Verstappen is great, but even he can't handle the load alone against 2 McLarens and 2 Mercedes every race. The burning question is, will Red Bull be able to turn this situation around in time to secure the Constructors' title comfortably? Or will we have a tight battle until the last race? Things are more unpredictable than a safety car in Monaco. Comment below what you think of this whole situation. Checo's situation is tougher than a fast lap in Monaco, but is there still time to save the season? Let's find out. The Mexican has the tools at hand, but time is ticking faster than a Red Bull pit stop. He basically has 2 races before the summer break to prove he deserves to stay on that team. 2 races to turn the game around. What does Perez need to do? Simple in theory, hard in practice. He needs to go back to being that driver who fought toe-to-toe with Verstappen at the start of the season. No more lagging behind, scoring points occasionally. Red Bull wants to see him on the podium, giving Max a headache. And it's not just about results. Perez needs to show that he still has that drive, that will to win that made Red Bull bet on him. No more saying he's almost there or that he's unlocking a few tenths. The time is now. The upcoming races are in Hungary and Belgium. Challenging tracks that could be the perfect stage for Checo to show he still has a lot of fuel in the tank. He needs to go all out, overtake, and pull off those crazy strategies that only he knows how to do. Show why he's called the Minister of Defense. But guys, if Perez doesn't manage this turnaround, then things will get ugly. Red Bull is not known for its patience, and with Ricciardo and Lawson knocking on the door, the pressure is higher than the rear wing at Monza. So, what do you think? Will Checo pull off this epic comeback, or is it over? Will Red Bull give him more time, or will they bet on new blood? Leave your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any details of this F1 saga that's more thrilling than a last lap battle. Thanks everyone, and see you next time.